Alright, hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, sorry about that. That's just the way things happen sometimes. Life's gotta take precedent, you know? Anyway, as you might have seen, I've recently shot a PRS match. PRS is short for Precision Rifle Series, and this was my first ever PRS match, and also the first ever match I shot with my recently acquired Sauer 200 STR target rifle. Because I don't have any videos of the stage prep itself, I'm just going to do a voiceover talking about my performance in each stage. I only have footage of 5 of the stages, and I'm going to show it to you in the order I shot them. First, let's have a look at stage 5. Right, so I immediately make a mistake that I close the bolts before getting ready to shoot. I got a caution from the RO on this, and you know, that's the way you learn. I spent far too much time getting the first shot off, which actually annoys me a fair bit. As you can see, I struggled getting into position. My second shot went low, and the third shot was spot on the second target. And then for the final shot, well, I simply ran out of time. I had problems finding the target in the reticle, and I had troubles calculating the holdover in my head. All in all though, I am okay with how I did. It's not a great run by any measure, but I did learn a lot. And more importantly, I identified areas where I need to train more. Not the least of which is getting into position behind the rifle quickly. That's going to be a running theme throughout this commentary. Next, let's have a look at stage 7. Once I got down to the line, I immediately realized that, oh, I forgot to set my sights. So I adjust my sights for the close target. And I then realized that, oh, I forgot to open the lens covers. You know, some real solid stage prep here. And I'm running straight into a third stage prep problem here, in that my target is being obscured by a target which is closer to me. And so that means that I have to move back. I first try to just, shuffle on to the right, spend a bit of time, and, finally give up. So I did see the target, but it was still being obscured. I only saw about 2/3 of the target, and I didn't feel comfortable taking the shot. So I moved back, and the rifle is at this point getting heavy. I mean, it's a heavy rifle, not as heavy as some, but still, keeping it up was becoming a problem. Notice the shake of the fore end as I'm trying to take the shot. Miss, and I need to adjust the sights for 500 meters. Now I leave it at that setting now, hoping to be able to hold over. At this point I'm having problems finding the target. I found the target, I pull the trigger, and the bolt knob jumps off. Again, real solid match prep on this. So now I'm wasting time screwing it back on, go through the barricade, get into position, find the target, close the bolt, and then reacquire the target. And at this point I actually have a pretty solid position. This shooting position, I mean, I'm adjusting to be able to see the target better, but the shooting position itself was actually fairly comfortable. Now, here's my holdover problem. But that was a solid hit. That's a 500-meter hit right there, which was a lot of fun. I might add that this match was the first time ever I shot at that distance. So, getting into position. Again, trying to hold over. And again, screwing up miserably. That side saddle there, by the way, was working great for me. I really enjoy having it there, particularly with having 5-round magazines. Being able to pick up the 6th round from my side saddle was perfect. And finding the 500-meter target, no joy. So yeah, that was also a bit of fun. I didn't realize that the time was gone. I'm going to blame it on a combination of being in the zone, as it were, as well as the fact that I had double ear protection on. Alright, let's now move on to stage 8, which was a pure skill stage. 2 targets, again at 330 and 500 meters, starting, standing, going prone, and then engaging one, then the other. I'm getting into position, I'm closing the bolt, and I'm having trouble locating the targets. I'm still zeroed for 500 meters. So I'm still trying to hold over with, still a great lack of success. Alright, that was my first try. Second try is 25 seconds at the same distance. Getting down, getting into position. Far better at getting into position this time. And I also find the target a lot quicker. Doesn't help with holdover though. And I let off a hit as the RO calls halt and hit at 500 meters. And so the RO now tells me that I hit closer to the 500 meters than the 300 meters target, telling me that I'm overcompensating as I try to hold over. Back down, getting into position. And I've now gotten a bit of practice getting into position, so that actually helps. I've built a solid position, I get the first shot off quickly, but still missing. And missing also on the second shot. So, next up is 15 seconds of shooting time. Getting down into position. And, I'm building my position fairly quickly. I'm fairly happy about that. That's actually my big takeaway here. But I'm barely able to get even the first shot off within the time, and so I opt not to go for the remaining 2 series that I had available. Alright, so next up is stage 2, where we started at engaging a target at 330 meters before turning almost 180 and engaging 3 IPSC standard targets at 30 to 40 meters. So 2 rounds at the 330, then 2 per IPSC target, and 2 rounds at 330 to finish if you had time. So I'm getting down into position quickly. I've got a fairly stable position, and that muzzle brake, by the way, is doing wonders. I mean, the recoil is barely noticeable. Getting up, turning around to engage the first of the IPSC targets. And then the second. This is an okay position, not a great position. For the next time, I'm probably going to do something different about pouches, because that there doesn't work. So I actually got off 7 counting hitting shots with 3 hits. And you know what? I should have gotten 5 hits on that one. This is something I've done before. I really should have done better. Oh well, live and learn. Finally, we've got stage 1 with targets at 230, 250 and 385 with 2 rounds per target per position from the roof and from the tank trap. Now, I've never fired off a root prop before, and as you will see, I'm having problems finding a comfortable position. You know, I can blame it on lack of experience. I can blame it on a lot of things. Fact is, this is me. I don't have a stable position. I'm struggling holding the sights, and so I don't do well. So let's just, you know, watch the rest of this.
Du veldig lågt.
Keeping in mind the slip at the end, I feel this was my worst stage of the day. It was a fun exercise, it was a fun challenge, and I need to work at it. I need to do this again and again and again. Alright, so what are my big takeaways from this? Well, I learned a lot. That's number one. I had a lot of fun. That's number two. And so what lessons am I taking away? Well, first off, I need to improve my technique getting into position, particularly in the prone, both with a bipod and without a bipod. Number two, I need to get better at finding positions where I can actually where I've actually got a clear view of my targets. And number three, I need to get better at target acquisition with the sights. As a number four, I'm also going to add that I need to improve holdover. So those are four very concrete things that I need to work on, and hopefully I'll do better next time, and then the next time, and then the next time. Many thanks to the guys down in Kristiansand who hosted the match. This was a super fun match. Out of a theoretical max of around 80 points, I scored 10, and the match winner scored 60. And this was a very simple one hit, 1 point scoring system. So I can't claim to be happy about my results, but I am happy I participated, and I am happy that I learned a lot. That's everything from me this time around, but you will hear from me in the not too distant future, I hope. Until the next time, keep linking.